49ers. Faithful, take a deep breath because the energy in the Bay has completely shifted. There's real concern about the pass rush, a tricky injury situation, quiet front office moves that could turn into an unexpected reinforcement, and even a quarterback decision that might reshape the future of this franchise. None of this is simple, and every detail can swing the season. So ride with me because you won't believe what we've got to break down. Sit back, smash that like button, and let's dive in. And tell me in the comments, what's worrying you most about the Niners right now? Let's start with the thing that hit every Niner fan this week. After 11 games, the 49ers sit dead last in the NFL in sacks, just 12 total. For a defense that wants to be the most feared in football, that number feels like an insult. There is context, of course. Losing Nick Bosa for the year, seeing rookie Michael Williams go down, and watching Bryce Huff battle through a hamstring issue all change the math up front. But even with all of that, when you see that number, it hurts anyone who loves a dominant defense. The crazy part is this all got exposed in a game that looked tailor-made for the pass rush to feast. Against the Arizona Cardinals, a 41-22 win, total control from the opening kickoff. Jacoby Brissett dropped back 57 times, completed 47 passes for more than 450 yards. You hear that and think, come on, with that many chances, at least one sack has to show up. But it didn't. Zero. Nothing. How does a defense with this much talent go through a script like that and not put the quarterback on the ground once? John Lynch felt that in real time. During his radio spot on KNBR, you could hear how much it bothered him. He admitted he was uncomfortable watching the game unfold, staring at that 57 pass number with no sacks. At the same time, he brought a layer a lot of fans don't see in the first emotional reaction. The Niners racked up 13 pressures, 4 quarterback hits, and, most importantly, 3 takeaways, including 2 interceptions, something this defense hadn't done all year. So, no, they weren't passive. They forced mistakes and stole possessions. And that's where the fan base splits. Is this just a matter of cleaning up the finish, or is there a deeper structural issue with the pass rush without Bosa on the field? Lynch basically said sacks are the byproduct, not the main goal. The real question is, are you affecting the quarterback snap after snap, and are rush and coverage working together? It makes sense. But when you check the schedule and see the Carolina Panthers coming into Levi's on Monday Night Football, you can't help feeling like this is a lie detector test for the front four. If this defense starts turning pressure into sacks under the primetime lights, the narrative flips quickly. The fear factor around the Niners front is back, the swagger returns, and offensive coordinators go back to losing sleep. But if once again the opposing quarterback looks too comfortable, even in another win, the heat turns up. Patience turns into pressure for pass rush reinforcements and real changes in the rotation. So, 49ers faithful, where are you right now? Team, relax, they're close to breaking through, or team, hit the panic button on this pass rush? While we're still processing those numbers, one of those names that rarely shows up in big headlines starts to make sense as a classic quiet front office move. Tamon Fox. Linebacker and edge rusher from the Giants, a guy who's lived on that elevator between active roster and practice squad, and who fits perfectly into the kind of low-cost rotational bet the 49ers love to make. He's not a star, not a social media splash, and that's exactly why a move like this usually happens quietly. To set the scene, the Giants once again waived Fox from their 53-man roster on November 17th, then brought him back to the practice squad 2 days later. It's almost a 2025 routine. Meanwhile, out in the Bay, the 49ers are tweaking the depth of their own front seven, signing Stone Blanton to the practice squad, letting Russell Gage go, and sending a message. Short-term priority is shoring up the defense. When you connect those dots, Fox's name starts to look like a very logical, very 49ers type target. His profile fits exactly what San Francisco likes: high motor, discipline, real NFL snaps in passing situations, and the ability to contribute on special teams from day one. He has more than 30 games with the Giants, has played in specific pass rush packages, and shows the kind of effort this staff loves. A guy who chases the quarterback to the whistle, snap after snap. He's a rotational piece, but that rotation decides playoff games in January. And the best part from a front office perspective is how simple the path is to get him. Because he's on the practice squad, any team can swoop in, open a spot on the 53, and offer him an active roster deal. If the Giants want to keep him, they also have to clear a roster spot. That turns it into a quiet tug of war. familiarity and system stability on one side, and on the other, a chance to play in a defense that's in the conversation for best in the NFL and chasing a Lombardi. Right now, there are no official reports linking Tomon Fox to the 49ers. This is reading the situation, not a sourced rumor. It's looking at need, cost, and scheme fit and seeing how neatly they line up. But tell me in the comments, with the pass rush struggling and the rotation clearly under strain, would you pull the trigger on a move like this, bringing in a hungry role player to thicken that edge group for the stretch run? While we're daydreaming about possible reinforcements, reality hits hard in a way Niner fans know too well. Another injury in the middle of the defense. Against the Cardinals, the win was nice, but Tatum Bethune left with a high ankle sprain. That changes the entire picture because linebacker was already flashing red after the loss of Fred Warner, who's still fighting for that long shot playoff return. We always joke that it happens every year, but when it happens again, it's not funny. It's just exhausting. Bethune had quietly become one of the best stories of the season. Thrown into the fire to replace Warner, he started stacking double-digit tackle games like it was nothing. Now, with this injury likely to sideline him for a few weeks, that deja vu feeling kicks in. The 49ers patching things together, adjusting on the fly, surviving, always with the defense at its physical limit. And out of that chaos, one name pops back into the spotlight, Curtis Robinson. Robinson stepped in against Arizona and did something a lot of people didn't notice, 12 tackles. He answered the call immediately, even after briefly getting dinged up and coming back. His story lines up with the Niners' culture, a player who doesn't quit, who already fought back from a torn ACL, who battled through camp, carved out a role on special teams, and now finally gets the chance to run the huddle as the MIKE. San Francisco loves this type of journey. John Lynch, a Stanford guy himself, knows Robinson's background from his college days and has clearly kept faith in him. The truth is, this moment arrived sooner than expected, but it's here. With the Panthers up next, Robinson faces one of those prove-it tests right away, chasing two big physical backs, Rico Dowdle and Chuba Hubbard, who are not easy to bring down between the tackles. That's grown man football. And here's where the emotional side of the faithful kicks in. As tired as everyone is of watching this defense get patched together, the 49ers always seem to find someone who emerges from the chaos. We've seen unknown names become key pieces before. The question now is simple and huge at the same time. Does Curtis Robinson become the next surprise hero in the middle of this defense? Let me know if you believe he can turn this shot into a permanent role. While the fan base is trying to process how this beat-up roster is going to survive the next few weeks, another storyline explodes on the national scene, one that nobody in the Bay really wanted right now: the future of Mac Jones. We're talking about the 49ers backup quarterback, a guy who quietly became a strategic piece in Kyle Shanahan's puzzle and now might be one of the most in-demand players in the league this coming offseason. Reports say as many as 9 teams could seriously sniff around a trade. The wildest part, Mac Jones isn't even seeing the field. He's become that rare commodity in the modern NFL. Inexpensive, efficient, under contract through 2026 in a year when the incoming rookie class of quarterbacks doesn't blow anyone away. That creates a perfect storm for franchises looking for stability or a quick bridge. Each of those potential suitors has their own storyline, but the conclusion is the same: Mac Jones has real market heat. Take the Minnesota Vikings, for example. There's already speculation that they could flip J.J. McCarthy plus a third-round pick for Jones. McCarthy hasn't proved he can run a high-level offense yet, even with Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison at his disposal. The pressure in Minnesota is real. They want to win now. But imagine the optics for the Niners. They move on from Jones. He lands in Minneapolis, puts up big numbers, and becomes the guy there. That's exactly the kind of scenario a careful front office thinks twice about. Cleveland is in its own maze with Deshaun Watson, and the idea of plugging Jones into Kevin Stefanski's system has real appeal. Then you look at New Orleans, Atlanta, Miami, even the Jets and Raiders, each one with its own type of chaos, each one a place where a steady, accurate, system-friendly quarterback would instantly calm the waters. Different situations, same takeaway. There's a line forming for Mac. And this is where it hits the faithful emotionally, because even though he's just the backup, Jones has turned into a kind of insurance policy. He knows the playbook. He's already shown he can operate the offense, and he's the kind of guy you feel safe with if something unexpected happens to the starter. Trading him or keeping him isn't just a roster move. It's a statement about how much risk the team is willing to live with. What makes this more interesting is that, so far, none of this is being pushed from inside Santa Clara. There's no report that the 49ers are shopping him. The pressure is coming from the outside, from a market that sees his value and keeps dialing up the hypothetical offers. And that puts John Lynch in one of those classic franchise-defining spots. Do you cash in now for a premium pick, or do you hang on to what might be one of the best backups in football and protect your playoff dreams? 49ers. Faithful, look at everything we walked through tonight. A pass rush on the hot seat, a potential